welcome, welcome, welcome back. This is Divine Destiny, and today is going to be something a little different. I haven't done a pick a card in quite a while, so I figure I'm going to do a pick a card today. So I have three options for you. The topic is going to be, what kind of a person are you? You know, like, what do you like? The real you, not the you that everyone always sees. Like, what kind of person are you genuinely at a soul level? So what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to have this up for a few minutes after I stop talking, and I want you to just take a deep breath, relax, and then pick whichever pile you're drawn to. We have three choices. The first one is this little shell. Isn't it pretty? I have so many shells. I go to the beach so much, so I have like a whole crap load of shells. Then I have my little, one of my heart rocks, or my heart rock collection. Isn't it cute? I found that one at the beach too. I find a lot of heart rocks at the beach. Not just at the beach, but probably the majority of them I'd say I found at the beach. And then we have this little amethyst. Isn't it pretty? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this go for a couple seconds. Just get real comfortable. Try to clear your mind of everything and just pick the one that really jumps out at you. Okay, whichever one really resonates with how you're feeling right now. All right, good luck. Hey! Alright, so welcome back to Divine Destiny. Today we're doing a pick a card. I'm super excited because I think they're super fun. So, and I haven't done one in a while, so we're going to do one. Alright. I have all the piles over here. I have not touched them since I put them together. I haven't even looked at them. Keep in mind which thing you picked, and I'm going to have it timestamped. You can just jump ahead then. It's going to be what kind of a person are you is the topic. So I'm not going to spend too much time here in the beginning talking, since I kind of already did a 2-minute introduction. All right, so we're going to get right into it. For those of you that picked the seashell, this is... Oh, and thank you everyone for commenting still. I'm so like blown away every day I get in there and so many comments and likes and subscribes. It's so great. I really love talking to all of you. Thank you for the sweater comment. I really like talking with everyone and getting to know you. A lot of people though, I'm looking like you watch me, you know, but you're not subscribed. So like, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to me. You know, be my friend. All right. So I have the first one. It's this little seashell. I don't know how you're feeling about the white. I tried to get white yesterday, and now like I'm looking and I had it up against white, and it looks kind of pink. So I'm a little upset over that, but it's still pretty. I like it. What do you think? Yeah? All right. So first one is the seashell. I'm super excited to see what's going on here. Right, so we're going to break it down how we usually kind of do in the normal readings. Angel cards, my tarot, healing card, healing oracle card. All right. So I'm going to do 3 of angel, 3 of tarot, and then 1 healing. Alright, so what kind of a person are you? Are you nervous? I'm sure you're great. Ooh, renewal. We keep getting this. We keep getting this. Oh, review and evaluate. Time to move in a new direction. You know, this kind of brings to mind for me like someone who's very if responsible is the good word, but like they accountable, I think would be a good word. They like to be accountable for the type of person they are, and they're willing to. And I think that, you know, after a length of time, there are definitely people that are able to kind of look back and review, you know, the choices they've made, the decisions they've made, the things they've done, and really kind of review themselves, almost like going up for like a yearly review at a job or something. I feel like that's kind of how they treat a lot of the things that they do. You know, they're very, I think they're very moral, very ethical. You know, they like to do the right thing. Let's see. This also feels though like somebody who, you know, once they know they're kind of not where they should be going anymore, like once, you know, the magic's gone, like they're quick to able to re-navigate and go somewhere else. They really have a good idea of truth and the truth of a situation, so they're able to take everything that they've learned and reviewed and, you know, in a very logical way. It's not, I mean, it can be emotional sometimes, but for me, this is someone who's much more logical all the time. You know, it's when they're thinking back, they're thinking more of like from like a detached kind of bird's eye view, looking back on things, not really reliving it every time they think back about it. So definitely someone who can kind of turn on a dime and really, if they have to completely, you know, do a 360 and go somewhere else, like they can do that and they'll thrive. This is definitely someone who is not afraid to kind of admit when they're wrong, you know, which isn't easy. You know, it's not easy to admit that you're in the position you're in now because of choices you made however long ago, you know, like, oh shit, my microphone's like, I didn't even know. Oh well. Yeah, this is somebody who's, they're just, I think they're very honest with themselves, and it's nice. It's a really nice energy. They're honest, but they're not honest to the point where they would ever want to hurt anyone. You know what I mean? Like, I still think that they could be, you know, guilty of maybe still doing some white lies, like, just so it doesn't hurt someone's feeling. Like, they're very honest, but they still don't want to hurt anyone. You know? Just sweet. I keep seeing like the Two of Swords energy, like the girl she's sitting and she has the two swords and she's very balanced, but she's, you know, she's not really focused on what she sees around her because she's blindfolded, so she can't really notice. You know, so this is someone that like makes me believe that they're pretty balanced, logically, like in a peace of mind kind of way. So they may really be like the type of person that when something happens, they're like, well, there was a lesson or there was a reason. You know, we'll figure it out. So it's hard to throw them, I think. Probably because they've been through so much in their life. Ooh, Page of Air. See, logical, honest, impulsive, curious. Honest, like logic. This is exactly what that's funny. Well, that's a good sign, right? Yeah. So Page of Air. Page of Air is, we've had him quite a few times, like in the reads and stuff, and I love the Page of Air. It's Page of Swords, and he's the one that's just kind of like holding the sword like this, and he's just out in the middle of an open, you know, field, just kind of doing whatever he wants, just free. That's free, and just like there's nothing really like holding his mind down. He's not really weighed down with things because he's very honest. You know, it saves yourself a lot of time when you're honest about things. You know, that Page of Swords, though, can also be impulsive. It can be, he can be kind of here today, gone tomorrow. You know, like I said, once the fun is gone, once the, you know, there's really no need to be there, they're done, they're out. Because there's no reason. There's just no reason otherwise. So, I mean, that's a good quality to have. I think it's, you know, instead of, if you're not learning anything, if you're still not growing or learning a lesson, then you shouldn't be there, you know? I mean, it's hard to like narrow down my favorite page, but Page of Swords is probably one of my favorites because the energy of him is just free and just light, you know, like your heart is just light as a feather, and that's just so nice, you know, to be that free and just like, oh, I'm just doing things because, you know, I want to. That's great. That's how you should be. That's a really great way to be. Curious. You like to experience things. You like to experience them yourself. You know, somebody could tell you exactly how something's going to end because they've had it happen to them. You know, so they know what's coming, what's going to happen. You're like, I still got to see it for myself. Because, you know, you're not willing to accept, you know, other people's truth. You're concerned with your own. And that's wonderful. You shouldn't be, you know, agreeing with whatever is fed to you, you know, because it's offered to you as truth. It doesn't mean it's true. And that's a really great way to be, to show discernment when around other people. Because other people, you know, most people can't even be honest with themselves. So how are they going to be honest to you? So it's a really good way to be when you're, I think, around a lot of people, because it kind of protects you a little bit. I feel like while you really don't want to hurt the ones you love, so you're capable of you know, telling those little white lies or whatever, I do think you're capable of like someone you don't know who like has something to say bad to you. I think you have it in you, maybe at times in the past, to be like, go fuck yourself. You know, like I think that to people you don't know, you're very you don't, what is that expression, like you don't I don't, hold on. Alright. Hopefully I can fix that. Sorry. Anyway, Page of Air is, like I was saying, really just an amazing energy. Very cool. Ooh, see, look at that. Balance. There you go. Somebody who's very balanced. Especially, like, in your mind. You're very, you're able to discern things very, and I don't want to say logically, like there's no feeling, because you do. You have plenty of feeling. It's just, I think that you don't let it cloud judgment, maybe, is the next person might. You have the ability to really, my daughter's laying down here. You have the ability to really do things, I think, in moderation for what is like healthy for you. I think you're able really to kind of be like, you know what, I need a break, I need to relax. You're somebody who is able to, when they really need to, nurture themselves in a way that will help them. I think they're definitely somebody who is able to kind of, and I don't want to say it's so much like, you know, spotties, because I don't think they're that, you know, they might, but I really don't get the feeling like they're that kind of pampering. I just think they're very, in their mind, they allow things to kind of go. Like, they don't hold on to things in their mind, and, you know, they don't talk to themselves in their mind the way that could be damaging or any of that. You know, it's a very simple kind of balance, and it's nice. You know, they don't need to have, you know, all sorts of, you know, massages and facials and, you know, stuff like that. They're able to kind of balance themselves almost on their own, like they're like self-regulating, you know. That's a really, really great way to be. All right, we're gonna move on to, ooh, nice. All right, so right away, I don't usually do reversals, but this one is going to be a reversal because we're talking about traits. When the card is like this is somebody who likes to gossip, somebody who is very manipulative. People can't trust them, you know, but like this, you know, this is someone who isn't, you know, you really don't try to have any of that enter your head. And that's probably why you have such a clear mind, is because you're not usually bogged down with the gossip and the crap and hearsay and the stuff that everyone else seems to like to fill their brains with. I think this really doesn't concern you. So you're not really into that, which is awesome. You know, you're really, instead of going and picking up all these swords, because that's what he's doing. He's, you know, he's picking up all these swords that people are leaving because he's just, ugh, you know. You let them go. You're able to let them go. You're able to move on. The amount of mental growth that you've had to have in your life is incredible. Like, you've really, I think this has happened a lot to you. You know, people, you know, the gossip and, you know, that kind of stuff. And maybe that's why you don't entertain it, because you know what that feels like. You know what it feels like to have people be so malicious towards you. You know, people walk away. People walk away. You have to leave people who, you know, treat you like this. Huh. You've definitely been able to build almost like a mental fortress in your mind. It's very trained. It's like, I don't know, for somebody to get into your mind, it's almost like they have to scale a gigantic wall, you know, army crawl through some barbed wire, maybe. Like, it's like Fort Knox. Like, and it's wonderful that you protect your mind that much. You need to. I think that's absolutely great. I mean, it might not be the super best when you're trying to be vulnerable or get to know someone because you're very guarded, I think, at first. But I think that's just because of things that you've lived through and, you know, things that you've had to go through in certain situations. So I wouldn't say a defense mechanism. I just think you're smart. You're smart in a way that's, you know where to give your energy, you know where to put thought, and that counts for a lot. I absolutely love the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is, it can be a past life soulmate. It can be feeling nostalgic, almost like a growing up with someone kind of feeling, you know, reminiscing, brother and sisterly love, sisterly and sisterly, whatever, sibling love. Just beautiful, innocent, and just you're really a person who is, for how logical you are, you're very giving. You're emotional, but it's not overwhelming. Mom! Caitlin, what did I tell you? Be quiet. Mom. Right? Sorry. Just very beautiful, but innocent. You know, you like helping people. You like to give to people. You're willing to share. You know, and I think this also reflects kind of how people see you. You know, you're seen as somebody who's pretty likable. Like somebody, you know, that they could be like, yeah, I could see myself hanging out with them. You know, you really don't have an issue finding people when you want to. But that's the thing. I think a lot of times, you know, and this might be how you're willing or able to keep such a clear mind, is because you're not always having to go look for friends. You know, you will if you want to. You know, but this isn't like somebody who has to have friends. You might actually just have a very small circle of people left anymore that you've kind of accumulated over the years and feel very safe and comfortable with. You're definitely somebody who likes, for how logical you are, likes to look back at fond memories of their childhood, you know, but not in a way that would hinder any growth. I think it's just a way of feeling certain feelings that you haven't felt in so long. You know, we experience things as kids. Like I still, like every once in a while, I'll catch a smell or something. It'll take me right back to somewhere. You know, I walked out of my house the other day. I swear, I smelled Pennsylvania, and I live in Florida now, but I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, and I could smell it, and it just it blew my mind to smell that again. And I was immediately back, you know, in my house there. So you're definitely somebody who can appreciate that, you know, the nostalgia of the past. I love this card. It's, you know, you're seen as somebody who has, you know, is everything they need, but, you know, you're willing to give for somebody to have what they need. Whoever you are, you sound like an amazing person. Really. King of Wands. Oh, I love King of Wands. King of Wands is, he is confident. He is, you know, he's not so much like, I mean, a go-getter, yes, because of his nature. Like, he can get very fiery, very excited about something. But he's not necessarily, you know, the page or the knight of wands anymore, where they have to like go out and prove themselves to do things. Like, I think you're passionate about things that you're passionate about because you know you're passionate about them. You know, you kind of know at this point the things that really ignite your soul in a lot of ways. And those are the things that you enjoy. And you act on them. You're not somebody who's, you know, not willing to cut loose and kind of do things that they want. I think that's great. Wands are about obviously energy and action, but they're also about growth. And you can't grow unless you're taking action. You know, it's important to, you know, kind of have that emotional mind, you know, manifestation thing. But if you don't have action and, you know, to go along with it, like, you're not going to go very far. You need to take action on things. And you are somebody, I think, while you might wrestle with, you know, the logical sides of things, when it comes down to it, I think when you're kind of pressed to do something, you are more than capable of getting the shit done. You know, but it might take a little bit of, you know, is it something you really want? That, you know, I think a lot of what you do has to be kind of passion driven in a way. Not like wanton, like just, you know, passion, but I mean like something that really just resonates with you. This is a fire sign. I don't know, so if you're a fire sign, but if you're not a fire sign, it's just embodying those kind of traits. Like, even him, like, when he's sitting there, he's like, he's sitting and he's like at rest, but he's ready to jump up at any minute. Like, any minute he'd be able to like leap up and be like, what are we doing? I feel like you really have that energy that can just different all the time. Whatever you're doing is different. Just a really all around great energy. Able to chill, able to have peace of mind, but ready to get up and go whenever you need to. Like, that's perfect. You know, that's great. I love that. That's like kind of how I am. I'm like, I'm fine with chilling, but you want to take off somewhere, hey, let's go. You know, and that's that Leo in me, I think. I'm just ready to go. Where are we going? What are we doing? Very cool. All right, so we're going to get to your last card, which is healing. And, ooh, oh, I really love you now. We would get along famously. It's music. So this is also my best therapy for me. Even if it's just taking a long drive with music, I'll do that. If that's the only thing I can manage to like squeeze in, you know, with kids and everything else going on, then I'm getting in the car and we're driving so I can listen to music because it helps me. It puts me in a good mood. Guitar, just playing good. I collect records. I don't know if anyone else listens to records. I collect records. So, you know, playing old records, that immediately makes me feel better. I don't know what it is about, you know, vinyl, but it's like that I don't know, that pops in the static and just, I know a lot of people be like, oh, the quality sucks. That, I love that. I think it's great. And I have a lot of records. So I get this. So wonderful. I kind of started talking about me, but I'm super excited. So whoever you are, you are awesome. music is kind of the universal language, and I think it's kind of understood by everyone too, which is great. You know, you can sometimes, I think, through music, figure out how you feel more than just through talking. So if, you know, I'm guessing you probably know you love music. But try, if you don't try sound therapy would probably be very good for you, binaural beats, those kind of things. Playing an instrument. I don't know if you play an instrument. Try listening to vinyl records. I like it. Super awesome. I actually, and I don't know what this is, if anyone else has this happen to them, comment below what the hell it is. Out of nowhere, I hear the most beautiful music, and I can't even describe it, and it'll be like random times, okay? So there'll be like nothing going on, and I'll hear this beautiful music. Sometimes it's piano, sometimes it's guitar, and it's just like, it's like there's a symphony going on in my brain, and I can't, like I'll walk throughout the whole house trying to figure out where this damn music is coming from. I don't know if anyone else has ever had this happen to them. I'm hoping. Please comment what that is, because I really like, and it's so beautiful that when it ends, I'm like, no, come back. It's like the most beautiful music I've ever heard. And I don't know. And it's almost like it's out of nowhere. There's no like tracking it. There's nothing that brings it on. It'll just like all of a sudden I hear this really pretty music. And I don't know. I have no idea. It's almost like, you know, angels playing. It's nuts. I don't know. Anyway, that was wonderful. You are an awesome person. All right. I'm going to move on to my next one. It is, we'll do that 5 here. All right, so the next one is going to be for those who picked the cute little heart rock. I have like a little succulent garden in my kitchen, and that's where I put all my hearts that I find. It's actually getting kind of full because I find a lot of them. So, all right, you ready to find out what kind of person you are? Let's see. Oh my gosh, the wheel. So you're someone who likes to be progressive. You're someone who likes to move forward, sorry, my hair's a mess. Move on. You're like, you know, you don't really like to be stuck, I think, in one energy, one situation, one place for too long. They call it rolling stone, you know? You're definitely someone, I heard nomad. Are you a nomad? I doubt they're actually a nomad. I mean, you know, popping up tons of places. Might be, who knows? They got internet out there. But you're definitely somebody who has, I think, could have what's classified as like a gypsy soul, which I get. I totally get that. You know, I've talked to my mom about this, even like just to buy like one of those old like gypsy caravans and like travel the country. I could see me doing that. I could do that. Just pack myself in like one of those really prettily painted gypsy caravan wagons and just go around doing tarot readings. Why not, right? I think that sounds great. I get it. I think you're also, you know, pretty positive. You're somebody who likes keep that wheel going, especially like if it's like a real rough patch, you know, because sometimes we're on top, sometimes we're on the bottom. So if we're on the bottom, I think you're the type of person that will kind of look towards the future then. You know, you're very, things are always moving. It's not going to be the bottom for too long. The wheel's going to turn. It's going to be better. Things are going to get better. Things can only get better. That's a really, really wonderful quality to have. The wheel is also about balance. It has every element. It has every zodiac sign. It is basically just completely balanced. Everything is within them. I think they do have a really wonderful sense of self in a lot of ways. You try to see the positive of things. No matter what the situation is, you try to see the positive of things. And I think you actually have this kind of mentality, you know, it's like, I will always be provided for. I will always be taken care of. You know, you don't have to have that worry. I feel like you're almost lucky in a way, like, because times have been rough for you. Like, I definitely feel like you've had some really, you've had some really rough things. And so to stay positive, to learn to be positive, even after that, I think is a very, very incredible thing. You feel very fortunate, you know, which is another way almost of saying, you know, you're grateful, you're thankful, that is such an important quality about a person, is how grateful they are for what they have. You know, I think there are ways of, you know, kind of forgetting, you know, how grateful you are and kind of falling out of it. It happens, you know, you have to be able to recognize it and bring yourself back into alignment with that. But, you know, I think at your core, you truly are very grateful. It's easy to not be, but, you know, if you go on and you look at like how other people live, if you know, really look at the data and like the numbers for, you know, who has what, the income bracket, stuff like that, like, you're doing a lot better off. And that's just like probably this country, what you'll pull up for that kind of information, but stretch it out in the whole world. You know, like, you're broke here isn't broke over in India. You know, it's a completely different broke over there. You know, I think you're very, very positive about things. Because I think you've seen that. I have a feeling that you've seen that. That you've gone places and you've been like, wow, now that's broke. You know, like, and then you think to yourself, well, I probably shouldn't have been complaining all those times. You know, because I didn't have it that bad. This is bad. I didn't have it that bad. So I think you were kind of able to turn that into a life lesson. You know, that no matter how bad things are, there are people that live constantly in worse. So the fact that you're so grateful is something I really admire, and I think that's so wonderful. I say all the time, be grateful. Definitely a really great quality. Queen of Earth. So Queen of Earth is Queen of Pentacles. She is down to earth. She's loves nature. She loves animals. I already really like you. She she's abundant, but she's abundant in a way of she kind of just lets things come to her. She's not like scrambling to get whatever she has. Like she really just kind of allows and things come. You know, again, it's that you'll be provided for kind of a mentality. Very thoughtful, creative. You have a good head on your shoulders. You know, you're able to be very empathetic to people, but I mean, you're not swayed by it. You know, I would say that you're very, you're sensible in a way that allows for compassion, but it doesn't get the better of you. You know, like you're not going to let somebody walk on you. You know, you're very strong. You know, you're also very warm and thoughtful. I think at times you've almost felt like those qualities weren't good, which is, I don't know why. I mean, I think that's a wonderful bunch of qualities to have, to be thoughtful. I mean, I feel like you get taken advantage of. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I get that. You know, I do. But we can't let ourselves close up our vulnerability, you know, because of how other people have treated us. You know, that's a reflection of them, you know, how they treat, you know, people. You have a lot of ideas. You know, it may seem to people on the outside looking at you that you're just very, I don't want to say head in the clouds, but you do seem like you're off somewhere. Maybe, you know, you're just kind of like, you like to just lay around outside, or you like to just kind of be in nature and in your own little happy space, you know. And I think to people that can make you seem not, I don't want to say like you don't think, but I don't think they think you think that much, you know. So like when they realize how much you think, they're like, oh, wow, and you're smart too, you know. So it's how you look and, you know, how you really are. There's a lot more to you than what is on the surface. You really have a lot of wonderful ideas about what you want. And they're very, you know, a lot of what you want, for how progressive you are, you know, a lot of what you want is very traditional in a way. You know, you're very progressive about, you know, doing things differently, doing things in a better way, doing them, you know, in an updated fashion. But at the same time, you have an aspect of you that is very get married, have kids, picket fence, kind of, you have that in you. You know, make sure that you're able to balance that. I have, you know, I'm born on a cusp, so I'm Cancer Leo. So it's like I have both are like that myself. Like there's part of me that wants to like be home baking a pie, and then there's a part of me that wants to be like hang gliding somewhere in, you know, the tropics. I like it varies daily with me what I feel like doing. So I get it. I get, you know, how you must feel. You know, I think it's possible to have, you know, what you're looking for, as long as it's, you know, what you're looking for. And you definitely have a specific idea of what it is you're looking for. And you're not somebody to settle for any less. Okay. We also have the King of Earth. So you are amazing. that is a complete pair. You are very complete within yourself. You're very balanced. You're masculine and feminine. You're in touch with both of them. I guess those traits that you used to have issues with, you don't anymore. So maybe you realize that, oh, they're good to have, huh? Yeah. So King of Earth he's a master manifester, and this might be why you're not willing to accept anything less than what you want, is because you know you're able to get it. There's nothing that you can't do for yourself. You know, you are whatever field you're in. I mean, you're a professional in it. Like you know what you're doing, and that's in anything that what you do. Like if you try to do something, you don't care how long it takes you. Like you're gonna be good at it, and like very determined. I mean, just like anything you touch just turns to gold. You know, you've really, I really like you. Like you really have mastered this this whole simulation going on here in a lot of ways. And you might not even realize it. Although you probably do. You're very responsible. You're able to accept accountability. And the reason for that is because you use it. You use things that you've done. You use things that you've learned kind of as fuel to learn more. You are someone who I don't think, while others can think you've probably perfected your craft or you're a super master in the area, I don't think you'll ever see that. You're very much the person that's not that you're not good enough. You don't think that. You have a great value of yourself. You just will never be done learning. You're like a lifelong learner, and you always feel there's always an aspect of you that will be able to be, you know, perfected or you know, worked on a little bit more. That's great. I agree with that. I'm very much like that myself. You know, usually when I get real good at something and then it's moving on. I'm doing something else. You know, it's basically just for the experiences and the lessons and the things you need to learn. And you very much get that. You've done a lot of different things, which is, I think, how you're able to be how you are right now, is because you're able to kind of draw from all those experiences so many just lessons. You know, the King of Earth is where he is because, you know, he has put in the time, he's put in the effort, he's put in, you know, the fuck ups, he's put in just like all sorts of the mess ups, all sorts of, you know, sorry, she didn't yell at me. You know, all sorts of things that, you know, might have stopped other people. I think you have more of a personality where it's like a challenge is almost not welcomed, but definitely like you're up for it, you know, and it's not a deal breaker for you when things get a little rough. Like you're willing to swim. That's great. So you have a pair here, you have the wheel, you have wanting to be free and, you know, at home. You're very, I hope you're very balanced. If you're king of earth, then you're balanced. Ooh. So Ten of Swords is ultimately an ending. I think that you are someone who, once you're done with something, you're done. Like there's not, and I think it's because of the level of thought that you've put into it. You know, you're not someone who's just going to be like, because you're willing to stick it out and you're willing to tough it out through things, you're not someone who's just going to be like, oh, screw this and I'm done. Like, and then you end up coming back because you weren't really done. Like, you're someone who will continue forward, and once you have gathered enough in, male lady was here. You've definitely wrestled with, you know, your decision in your mind. So any decision that you make is usually very calculated. I don't want to say like calculated. I think that gives like a bad, I don't know. But you know, you're definitely nobody I'd want to, I might play chess against you, but I think I'd have a run for my money. That's for damn sure. Because you're so many moves ahead all the time. You really, you know, and that's, I think, how you're able to be that way, is because you know when you hit a dead end. Like when it's checkmate, you're aware of it. So you don't waste time trying to, you know, make something work that won't. You don't waste time trying to do things that really aren't going to serve you or benefit the ultimate growth of you. You're just like, nope, that's it. Checkmate. I'm out. Deal with it. You know, when you have made up your mind, that is it. And you stick to it. This isn't like someone who's like, yeah, I'm done. And then, you know, a little while later, they're like, I lied. Like, no, you're very, this is what's happening, and that's the only thing you're getting. Take it or leave it. Or just go away because I'm done with you. Like, it's like, for how thoughtful you are, like, you can be very blunt. And it might be because you've learned to not let people take advantage of you. I kind of get the feeling like you don't necessarily like having to be that way with people, but you've learned that it's the quickest way, and ultimately, in the long run, the less painful way to deal with things that you shouldn't really be enduring anymore. So you've definitely learned that lesson. You know, you definitely aren't one to, like, to kick a horse when it's like kick a dead horse, you know, like it's nothing's happening. Why are you doing it? You're able really to move on. And especially mentally. Like you really have a strong sense of how to stay in peace in your brain almost. Like it's like you're not going to overload yourself with things that don't serve you to think about. And you're able to do this, like, oh, doesn't concern me, off. Whereas a lot of people would be like trying to figure out, you know, more about it or how it pertains to them, or like, you know, trying to like work it in and like stress over it. You're just like, oh, has nothing to do with me. Don't care. You're almost, I don't want to say like, you know how like, you know, when like your parent who's like the disciplinarian says no, that's like, it's kind of like, oh my God. I feel like I'm being scolded or something. Like, no, okay, it's no. That's a no. That's a no. Like, sometimes you can really, you can have people really being like, oh, damn. You know? But they'll respect you. You know, there's no two ways about that. They're gonna respect you. Wow. Huh. I think you also kind of look forward in a way to endings. Like and I think because you like, you know, it goes back to that wheel. You know, you like the newness. You like things that, you know, are new and exciting and offer growth, offer potential. Those are things that you find very attractive. You're definitely not afraid of endings. I think you've gotten to the point where you realize that, you know, every ending is just a new beginning. And if anything, you should be thankful for them. Look at this. Again, Queen of Pentacles. So, here we go. Queen of Pentacles is just so great. You like hiking. I like that. I like hiking too. Very warm. I'm usually cold, so we can hang out anytime you want. I'm usually freezing no matter where I am. Oh, this morning, this is off topic, sorry. This morning I was driving, and like I walked outside, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm shivering. It's like 60 degrees outside. It was like negative 30 something in Illinois. I was like, ugh. Like I can't even imagine. I just can't even imagine. Like I think I'd visit somewhere really cold, but I can't, like, I don't think I could live. Like that's so cold. Like it's so cold there's not even a number for it. You just have to be negative. Like, ew. Yuck. No. I like to be warm. No. But you're very warm. So I would, just to steal some of your heat, hang around. I think you're very, while you might have like a lot of, a lot of stuff, you might be very blessed in a lot of ways, and you know, it's because you work for it, yes, but you have admiration, and I think you really understand, you know, how much of a tool money is, how much, you know, it's something that you can use in a way that benefits you. You know, it's not something that you're enslaved by. It's not something that you really put a whole lot of, you know, care into. And that's why you're able, or will be able, or have the ability to really manifest a lot of it. Because you figured out what it is. You know, it is a tool. It is a earthly tool. That's why pentacles are usually seen as money, because, you know, money is an earthly creation, an earthly tool. You know, they're not buying shit in heaven with dollars, you know, but you understand it. You're very, very smart. Keep smelling something sweet. So I'm eating something sweet right now. Keep smelling something sweet. It's like I don't know, it doesn't smell like a flower. I don't know. Comment down below if you have something sweet smelling in front of you. That's what it is. Queen of Pentacles is just a really great lady. She is someone animals are very comfortable being around. You know, probably because they spend so much time there. You know, you probably find yourself outdoors a lot. And if you don't, you probably aren't in a very good mood when you're inside. Because I guarantee you that you are an outdoors kind of person and you should be outside a lot. You know, that is where you thrive. You know, to breathe in clean air. You know, to see, you very much appreciate simple beauty. You know, the simple beauty of trees, clouds, the sun, stars. You know, you are definitely someone I could pal around with. Very sweet. Oh. Oh. Oh, my nerves. Like Aunt Pity Pat. Anyone else? Anyone else like Gone with the Wind? Okay. That's super happy long time #1 family right there. That is the dream, you know, like, you know, again, you're very like to be out doing things. You like to explore, you like to adventure, you like to experience things, you like to go new places, you like to meet new people, you like to go all over the place, you know, whenever you want to, at a moment's notice, you'll pick up and take off, and super fun, right? And then part of you is like, but I also want a steady house and a couple of kids, you know, a loving spouse. You know, you also have this very traditional want, and it's not like a need, like you have to, like, because, you know, that's what you're expected to do. Like, no, this is something inside of you that's very, you've always wanted that. You've always wanted like this, I don't necessarily want to say fairy tale, but a great love, a great, you know, I think profound would be, you know, a really good descriptor word for what you're looking for. Like, this is a very important thing to you, but it's also not something you're willing to compromise on, I think. You know what your version of this is. Like, you already know what this is. And I'm knowing this about you, right here, I guarantee you're already manifesting it. Whether you realize it or not. Like, you're well on your way. Just, you know, very, very sweet. It's incredible. It really, like, you really, a lot of what, you know, you see is what you get with you. Totally. Totally true statement. But there is also a lot of you that a lot of people don't see. There are sides of you that I think you, and this, I think it's on purpose. I think there are sides of you that you really don't think other people should even concern themselves with, you know, except for that one person that you're willing to spend this life with. You know, that's your person. That's the person that is going to understand those parts of you. But otherwise, you're, you know, you're exactly who you say you are. And that's a great quality. And little mysteries, you know. That's sexy, right? All right, healing. Ooh, study. I got this the other day for I did a personal one for me. And I got study. Study, study, study. What are you interested in? You know, that's kind of what, you know, you're always asking yourself, what do I want to learn about? What interests me? What am I into right now? And it could change. You know, you have such a I don't want to, like, when it comes to, like, learning and, like you're almost like a hummingbird, like, boo, boo, like, you're all over the place. You know, you're getting, you know, the nectar. You're getting, you know, what you're doing. You're just doing it very, like, effortlessly. To other people, it doesn't seem that way, though. You don't, you know, as effortless as you think, and you know, like, people are like, how are they doing that? You know? But you are so, I think, ahead of a lot of people in a lot of areas that it's almost like second nature. You know, the things that you study, the things that you learn about, are definitely things that I think you kind of, you not only perfect them, but you live them while you're immersing yourself in it. It's really, I mean, you could dabble in some things, but when you're trying to know something, just the determination is like, goddamn. Goddamn. I really, you're a very, very tenacious, just, like, you wish somebody would tell you can't. You know, like that, like, say I won't. That kind of a person. Say I won't. So keep that up. I think that's a really, really great thing. I think it does help you heal a lot. I think, you know, when you're able to kind of immerse yourself in something that really interests you, you're able to live very authentically because you're in your passion, you're in your joy, you're in what you love. You know, so that's a really great thing for healing. I'm also a lifelong learner. I will be learning for the rest of this life and any life after that. Really great. You're a great person. I hope that was helpful to you. I'm going to go ahead and move on here to the next one. All right. This is for the amethyst people. I had my pretty little amethyst. My other amethyst is like huge, so I couldn't really use that one, but got your healing. So exciting. Ready? Two of Fire. Two of Fire is, you really are figuring, like you're figuring yourself out. You really know kind of what you're about by now. You know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what you really don't want to have to experience anymore. You're aware of the bullshit you've been through. You don't want to experience it. You're done with it. You know, and you're quick to realize it. You know, I think you're very quick to realize what's going on with things. You're able to kind of move forward quickly if need be. You like to meet new people. You like to network. You like to grow. You like to be. Okay, this is gonna be crazy. This whole video. Sorry, you know, I usually always get my videos done like really, really early in the morning when the kids aren't awake. You know, so that's, I never have to stop. I can just do one continuous video and be done with it. But I'm sure this one's gonna be a mess having to splice together so many different. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times I had to now pause it. So, jeez. All right, Two of Fire is where we left off. You're very, you like to make new acquaintances. You like to make new contacts. You like to, do things that help you kind of figure out who you are more, move more into yourself. You like that excitement. You like that newness. You know, when you're just either with someone or you're just kind of meeting and it's like real fresh and new and exciting, and you very much like that. You like to make plans to move forward, but you're also willing to do the work to actually go. You know, it's not so much, you know, like you're, what would be a good, like you're not just like sitting around wishing that you're going to be doing this stuff. Like you're okay with going out and doing the work and actually getting this stuff done. Like that's okay for you. I think you really are kind of just opening up to maybe the totality of, you know, that you really can go anywhere, do anything that you want to. You know, I think that it's not even an issue. It's what do you want to do next is what it kind of boils down to, I think, a lot. What do you feel like moving on to next? You know, I think you're someone who can kind of forge your own path, even if there's really not much of a path there. You know, I think you're very capable of doing whatever it is that you really are trying to be doing. You know, even if there's really not a lot of other people doing it, you are able to. And it's sheer willpower. It's like you're determined, you're confident, and you're ready. This is not somebody who's trying to wait. You're making plans and you're going with them. Definitely. Two of water, which is two of cups. A lot of twos. Got a lot of twos. Or four. I think you really like to have harmonious relationships. They mean a lot to you. You are definitely somewhat of a peacemaker. And for maybe for your family, maybe you're the one everyone kind of calls to vent to. Maybe you're the one that kind of gives the advice. But I think you will, in any situation, try to come to as peaceful of a resolution as possible. You're very willing to forgive people. I think because you understand, people make mistakes. People, they fuck up. Things happen, and you understand that. And that's from this energy. That's why you understand that. It's because you fucked up. You don't do anything in Wands energy without eventually learning your lesson by fucking up. Because these people are very action-oriented. They're just kind of like, let's go. And they do it. Whereas Swords are like, they're trying to think about things first. Pentacles will do, but they'll be slow and methodical, and they'll really learn along the way. Wands are kind of like, let's just do. Let's go. Action. Come on. So when you're in that kind of energy, you can make mistakes. But mistakes are a great way to learn. And they've obviously made you very empathetic and compassionate to people in your life, which is an amazing way to be. You're definitely a peacemaker. You like close relationships. You are not someone who values superficial relationships. It's not about quantity. It's about quality for you. If a lot of people might put a lot of stock into, how many Instagram followers they have or how many, friends they have, Facebook friends or whatever, but you don't. You rather have, 2 or 3 really great people by your side that you can really count on than having like thousands of people that don't even really know you. Which I get that. My circle, it's small. You value people that you can grow with, that you can grow close to. You like forming relationships that you can be totally honest in. Relationships that don't take a whole lot of effort, though. Okay, this isn't, you're not really someone who's going to keep trying to force a relationship, a connection. You kind of like to let things unfold naturally, which is awesome. You definitely have nothing against forgiving. Like, just, you're very forgiving. You're willing to, when you're able, and this is when your cup is full, which is the only time you should be doing this, you're willing to give to someone else. If you don't have a full cup, if you're not working with a full cup, I don't recommend you giving to anyone because you're just going to be depleting yourself. It's not going to turn out great. You need to be working with a full cup before you try to help anyone else. And what you do with your cup after it's full is, you know, up to you, but you are definitely that kind of person that would like to share it with someone. You know, you long for that relationship that's like, you know, you have your full cup, you know, they have a full cup. Let's sit down and have a wonderful dinner that lasts 80 years. You know, like that's you. You want someone that brings to the table what you are. You know, it's very simple, but it's not, as I'm sure you've learned, very easy to find. There aren't a lot of people that want to match you in your what you're going to be giving. You know, and they know they'd have to. And you give a lot, so that might be why it doesn't work. Because it's just not what people are maybe at the time willing to give you. You definitely rather have a very close relationship than, you know, just how's the weather type of friends, you know. Someone you can really explore places with, you can grow with, you can learn with. Like a partner in crime almost. I don't think you'll be doing anything illegal. I mean, I'm not sure I'm pretty sure laws are different over ayahuasca, but I mean, that's probably, you might be on a trip somewhere, I don't know. You could just be very spiritual. You could be very, I don't like the word spiritual, you know, like that comes with a lot of labels anymore, to be spiritual. But, you know, you're very much into truth, and you want someone to share it with. Someone who also agrees with what you think. Ooh, 7 of Fire. You are somebody who will stand your ground. You are not someone who's going to allow people to push you around too much. You have a set of morals, you have a set of ethics, and they're your truth. You understand them, you know them, you live them, and you are not going to compromise them for anyone, which is good. Good job. I think while you have learned this, sometimes I think because of your fiery nature and your, you know, need to uphold, you know, your beliefs and decisions within yourself, I think there are times when you have or could like argue with people, you know, just, and it's not like, I don't think it's like screaming or anything like that, but I do think it's very passionate, and I think it's, you know, you just want to get your point across. But I'm sure, as you've probably been learning, that's not always the best way to go, and you should choose your battles wisely. You know, if there's really no way you're changing somebody's mind, then why are you trying to? Like, you don't need to. Like, your mind's not changing. How you feel isn't changing, so you don't give a shit about if anyone else feels that way. They have their own beliefs, right? They have their own stuff they believe in. Choose your battles wisely. I'm definitely learning that with my daughter. She's taught me that. You know, choose your battles wisely. At the end of the day, what matters. Stand by your decisions, though. And you do. Once you make that commitment and you're willing to put energy towards something, you stick with it. So long as it's something that you're really wanting. I think, you know, this might stem from being the complete opposite growing up. I feel like, and maybe not like growing up, but even like adolescent, you know, teens, like maybe you really didn't stand up for yourself enough. Maybe you didn't stand your ground enough. Maybe you, you know, like somehow got like drug into like peer pressured situations, you know, when you should have been like, nah, I'm not into that, you know. So I think, you know, but those are experiences that teach you how to do this. You know, that is how we learn. It's by living these things and living these, you know, scenarios and situations and going, oh, I don't need to put up with that. So that's how we learn. And I think that's how you've learned. I think you've learned because you realize if you're not sticking up for yourself, you can't rely on other people to. You need to stand up for what you believe in. Get up, stand up. Keep hearing that Marley song. You're very when you get excited about something, you're like, you get excited about something. Like I'm like, oh my God. Like, you are passionate about some things. Very, very passionate about the things you're passionate about. People will always be able to tell when you're actually interested in what they're saying, in what you're doing, in what they're doing, because of how you react. You know, you might think you're a little bit smoother than you really are. Because, I mean, it's probably pretty, you'll probably go from looking at something that's really excited and happy, oh my God. You know, people will know when you're excited for something. I have the same thing about me, so don't worry about it. Cute. Alright. Ooh, the star. Beautiful, beautiful card. The star is, it's a guiding light. It really, I think you're someone who really feels like they're kind of being led somewhere in a way. Like, you know that this is a journey. And I think you really are grasping or have grasped the concept that everything is one. Everything, you know, returns back to source, back to one thing. We are all that one thing. And I think you understand that. If you can see, see what she's doing. There's some over here, these tiny little rivers and, you know, stuff. And then there's this one over here. And everything meets at the same place. It doesn't matter where she's putting the water. Everything is running together. You really are someone who's very intuitive. And I think that's how you can use this so much, because that's what you go off of. You know, that's like a green light for you especially. So you're more, instead of like logical sitting back, like you just have a feeling. You know, you just have a feeling it's a good idea. You know, it's something you should do, and you're going to do it. It could crash and burn, but you had a feeling. I get it. This is someone who's very, again, very, very balanced, very, like, twos. I just keep seeing, like, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1. you have to have balance. You have to have an equal mix of fun and quiet. You have to have that. You really like to know about unknown things. You know, I think your thinking goes a little bit deeper than even you might like to admit sometimes. Like, I think you really, like, there are times when you can, like, think yourself into, like, I don't know what. Did you ever get, like, thinking about stuff, like, the meaning of life or, like, the, like, stuff, you know, and, like, you think yourself into, like, this really, like, crazy, and you're like, oh, God. Like, it's, like, I feel like you can get almost lost in that, universal, what do they call that? Like the Akashic records kind of, you know, get lost in there. Like, it's not a horrible idea for you to trip and fall into a rabbit hole. Like, you might scream a little bit on the way down, but, like, you'd probably be kind of interested in everything going on around you. Like, if that, you could use that as a visual. Like, that would be, that's really not something that, I think it would be like an adventure. You like seeing the underneath of things. You don't, I don't, like, going back here, like, you don't, it's not about superficial bullshit. It's like, what's underneath? What is the truth? What is, you know, the stuff that no one sees? What are the real aspects of whatever is going on in your life? Those are the things that interest you. You have a very deep way of contemplating things that happen in the universe. So I'd be more than happy to sit and look at stars with you any day, because we could have some great conversations. And tell you what, you're very much after truth. Ooh, Chariot. Chariot is awesome. Card of Cancer. Chariot is balanced. It's about duality, polarities. The fact that everyone is everything and nothing at the same damn time. You are this, you are that, you are, you know what I mean? Like, and that's okay. You can be all these different things. Like, it's not about being positive all the time. It's not, no, I'm a good person. You know what? Everyone has done things that they probably look back on now and go, I'm not happy I made that decision. You know, it didn't make you a bad person, but it made you human. You are definitely someone who realizes that. You are progressive to a way that you almost kind of expect to move to, you know, the next level. Like, you're always in the search of the next level, and you get there because you're very methodical and balanced, and you are just concerned with progress, with moving forward. You're not concerned with, you know, too much with what's behind you once you have experienced the experience and learned those lessons. You're the type of person that's like, all right, I got the experience, I learned the lesson, we're getting the fuck out of here. You know, that's, you don't need to hang around, you know, people, places, or things that really don't bring out the best in you. Places that don't make you want to grow, or even like push you a little bit. Sometimes you need that. And I, you know, as fire sign, I get what that is. You know, sometimes you have to, you know, kind of be like, you know, poked or pushed a little bit to be like, to fire yourself up to do something. Like that's, at least for me, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm, you know, half water too, but as a fire sign, I definitely, when I get that fire under my ass, like shit's getting done, you know? And you need that. You need to be in places like that, places that push you to that level. Because if you're not, then you're really not going to go anywhere. If you're not with, you know, people, places, things, you know, treating yourself in a way that is going to move you forward, you're just not going to move. Chariot for me is always about movement. So this kind of says to me that, you know, you're, not that you don't like not moving, but I think you like to keep moving. And it's not so much that you're running from something. It's not so much that you're, I think you know that that's the direction that you should be going. And that's like a super, it seems simple, you know, but it's a really hard lesson for a lot of people to learn, that what happened in the past is in the past. There's no reason to go back unless you're doing like shadow work. There's no reason to live there anymore because you're not going back. You're going the other way, you know, and it's something that a lot of people can't fully grasp. But you know it. You know that your future is ahead of you. And anything that's happened prior to that has made you who you are today. Ooh. 5 of Cups. This is my need to be grateful card. So maybe you're somebody, I think you're somebody that sometimes can fall out of the vibration of being grateful. Not that you try to. Not that you try to, because you usually try to keep yourself in a vibration that is, you know, of gratitude, which is wonderful. I think when certain things happen, your first reaction might be to look at what happened and everything else that you still have kind of, you know, you don't really see at first glance. So you're really somebody who has to really push themselves to be grateful. And that's a wonderful practice to have, is to push yourself to be grateful. You know, you shouldn't be someone who really gets lost mourning what you've lost. Like, it's, you have so much still. But I feel like even though you have so much, you have lost a lot in your life. So this isn't like you're just like an ungrateful bitch. Like, that's not what this is. This is, you have lost, you have overcome, you have witnessed a lot of things that really emotionally especially has kind of made you turn your back on other good qualities of emotions. Maybe you're somebody who really tries to hide their emotions. Maybe you try to downplay them a little bit, you know, so it's, you're like trivializing them. They're, you know, like you could be like sobbing, you're like, I'm actually okay, I'm alright, you know, but you're like sobbing, you're like, no, I'm good. No, you know, I think that's kind of a, I don't want to say coping mechanism, or, you know, but like that's kind of how you learn to get through, because it was just easier to be like, no, everything's fine. You know, that's easier than having to explain, you know, and pour your heart out, and, you know, possibly to somebody that wouldn't even care, you know, because then they're like, and so like, I think it was just easier, and you learned, it was just easier just to take everything personally, like to yourself, not have to explain what you're feeling. And that's something that, you know, if you haven't worked on it, if you haven't noticed it, you should be aware of it, that you do that. Don't try, when someone, you know, is like, oh, you know, what's wrong? And there's something clearly wrong, talk. You know, you need to be able to express yourself, express how you're feeling. I know that feeling certain emotion, like, ugh, like that's like, I don't, you really need to, the idea of sharing some feelings, some really is not what you want to do. Huh. Something has happened to where you really don't want to share feelings. Like you've lost things, which is why you guard so much what you still have. Over here, what you still have left, you guard it. Like you've had shit get messed up. So this is very guarded. Your emotions are very guarded. And again, it's not because you don't want people to get close to you. You don't, you know what I mean? Like you might think you don't, but you know, I think it's just a way of maintaining some kind of balance for yourself, is because that's how you've learned to do it. You've learned that you lose things. Things get taken away, you know, bad things, horrible things happen. You know, so you need to protect yourself. Protect what you have, protect your feelings. Because who else will, right? You know, people like that have to do a lot on their own. They're the type of people that have had to really do things alone, do things by themselves. And, you know, those aren't easy lessons to learn on your own. And it's usually what happens is you'll end up having to heal them. And it might actually be with somebody else. Somebody might help you. You might learn to have someone help you be vulnerable. And that's scary. It's difficult. It's painful. It's all that and then some, but it's needed. You know, that heaviness, it's like I don't know, like someone's like, just, ugh. There is a part of you that you just do not like to even have to risk putting it out for anyone to fuck with. Because it's like all you have left. You know, you feel like that. Like, you're like, I've had so many heartbreaks. I've had so many things happen to me that what's left with me, you know, and that's, if you're going to be guarded to who you're letting into your life, that's wonderful. You know, you shouldn't be just giving your energy to whoever. Like, you should really make sure that they deserve it. You know, that's an expensive gift to give, is your energy. So we need to make sure it's you know, used the right way. But at the same time, don't be so guarded to where, you know, someone might actually genuinely, you know, want to help you, want to get to know you, want to, you know, help you refill those cups that you've lost, you know, those trust issues, those abandonment issues, those, you know, all those things that you have that have happened, you know, so you should maybe allow them to. I definitely think, though, even though this is usually my ungrateful card, I don't see you as somebody who is ungrateful. You are usually very grateful for what you've had, because you've lost a lot. So I don't really see that. I see this as kind of somebody who's almost numb to some things, and it's easy to do. I know that, and that's why so many people do it, because it's easy. It's easier than you know, feeling the pain that comes with having to heal. You know. So let's see what kind of healing you need. Oof. You need miracles. And they're on their way. Woohoo! Yay! Miracles are coming. That is, and I think you believe in them, and that's why they're coming. I get the feeling that you really wholeheartedly believe that a miracle is on the way for you, and guess what? It is. You know, when you believe something, it will happen. So, you have a really great energy. You have been through a lot, but you have managed to keep such a profound faith and resilience about you. Like, you really, I don't know what it would take to keep you knocked down. I don't know if there is anything that would. You know, you have learned lessons that make it very hard for you to just give up. Because if you were the type to give up, it probably would have happened a long time ago. You know, but you're still there. You're still doing what you're doing, and you're still waiting for your miracle because you know it's coming. And it is. It really is. Oh, it's 11:55. Look at that. Confirmation. It's a coming. It really is. I think that is a wonderful way to be. I think it's amazing to live in a state of expectancy for wonderful things to happen, because that makes you a magnet for wonderful things to happen. So there you have it. I'm so excited to share this with you. If you end up watching the whole thing, or you're just here from the last one, thank you for watching. I'm so grateful for all of you. I love the comments. Please keep them going. I think they're great. Questions, comments, put them down below. Divine Destiny 1111. I'm on Instagram. You can be my friend there. What else? I think that's it. If you need a reading, you can go to my website or my Etsy. The link for it is in my banner for my YouTube homepage. If you haven't subscribed to me, please do that so you can see all the videos when they come in. Like, and also go follow my sister, DarlingDTarot. She is absolutely amazing. I love her to death, and she's really doing good. There's somebody who is living their dream. She is just rocking and rolling. All right, if you do make it to my sister's site, tell her I said hi. You know, tell her you came from here. Let her know where you're coming from. All right, I hope everyone has a really great day, and I will see everyone later.